If you could ask Kate what she felt when she opened the door to her roommate's room, the surprise would be low on the list. Those high on the list, however, would be disgust and annoyance, to say the least. She opened that door to see Jen lying on the floor of her room, sprawled over two men, dressed only in their boxers, buried in beer cans and bottles. Kate slowly picked up two pairs of jeans that she identified as the men's and tossed them to the pigs. They were awake and slowly doing unspeakable things to Jen. Kate screamed at them to get out of the house. The two men had moved faster than anything Kate had ever seen. They had their pants on in 2 seconds and they ran out of the house before Kate could even figure out what was going on. Kate slowly walked over to Jen to assess the damage. She was lying there, sprawled across the ground, half naked, wearing only a pair of boxers and a single sock. Kate took notice of several $20 bills sticking out of the waistband of the boxers. Kate walked around the room, looking for a shirt. She found one, luckily, right under Jen. Kate had to lift Jen to get the shirt and surprisingly, she was very light. She pulled the shirt on over Jen. She couldn't help but think how helpless Jen looked. After she had the shirt on Jen, she slowly shook her awake. Jen said one word, bathroom. Kate helped her up, as she stumbled across the hall into the bathroom and closed the door. It sounded as though Jen made it, which was good. Kate didn't want to have to clean more messes than she already had to. Kate quickly located the stereo and turned it off. She could hear the birds outside, and it was peaceful. Until the sound was interrupted by Jen throwing up into the toilet. Jen heaved as she drew herself off the cold, hard floor in the bathroom, facing the toilet, yet again, to throw up some more. Afterwards, dropping to the floor again. She wasn't sure why she drank so much all the time, it only led to more problems. She then remembered how good it felt to feel nothing at all. After about an hour, she felt herself getting better. At least good enough to realize that she dropped about $60 out of her boxers. She always wore boxers, it was her little way of rebelling against her own gender. She always hated girls. They were always whining about how bad everything is. And always getting giddy about boys and things like that. Not to mention the whole sugar and spice thing. Never really resonated with her. This didn't mean she had any problem exploiting her gender. She loved exploiting the gullible fools that boys tend to be. While she was thinking about all of this, she was standing up, working her way over to the shower. She got in and turned the water up to the medium level that she thought was so relaxing. As she washed her hair, she heard something fall in the kitchen. She thought it was just Kate being clumsy and dropping things again. She spent about 6 minutes in the shower. She could never stand being in there for very long. As she dried off and stepped into the hall wearing her towel, she saw Kate pacing around the living room on the phone, probably with her boyfriend. Jen couldn't stand that guy. Something about him always irritated her. She walked into her room and stood in front of the mirror admiring the shape of her body. She is 22 years old, even though everyone always guesses she's 16 or 17 due to how young she looks. As she got dressed, she slipped on a pair of boxers, a pair of jeans, a bra, and a white tank top, as well as socks. She was walking towards the door to put her shoes on, she could go watch the football game with her friend Mark, when she noticed something. A whimper. As she walked past the couch, she saw Kate lying on her back. She was staring at the ceiling with her eyes red and puffy, tears streaming down her face, and her lip was quivering. It was obvious to Jen that Kate was depressed about something, but she just kept walking towards the door and put her boots on. As she closed the door she said, "I'll be home around 9.